Good morning, cinephiles. Hi, everybody. I know I have a little bit of bedhead. Happy New Year. This is the first build of 2022. And on my table, I have, for cinephiles to notice, a couple of motors from an important camera. These, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to restore these today. These are pieces of camera equipment. These are the motors, the drive motors for an Arriflex 2C 35mm film camera. I have these two motors and I'd like to bring them back to health. They are both working, they're just cosmetically shite. They have a lot of wear and tear, there's a lot of years on these. These motors, these Arri motors, they have an adjustable speed control on the bottom here that still works. They take, from what I'm reading, anything from 12 to 24 volts, but they prefer somewhere around 16. And I've got a nice 12-volt supply for them. And then I'm going to reapply this crackle finish. That's the big deal of this episode. This specific type of finish on camera equipment here. There we go. This specific type of like crackle finish on camera gear. I've always thought that that was an unreplicatable finish, but it is not. It turns out that it is a replicable finish. And I bought some spray paint. Tested Zone Sean Charlesworth, who has a lot of experience restoring and cleaning up old camera equipment like this, because that was his job for a while, gave me some advice and I'm going to use it. And then, so we're going to have some nice ASMR take apart part of this video up at the beginning. And then as we go, I'll talk about why I love the RE2C, why it's a really important piece of film equipment. And there's a couple more restoration pieces of my RE2C rig that I'm looking forward to tackling. But for right now, let's get into the restoration. Ugh. Old gaffer tape is the worst. Oy, 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 oy. Gross. All right. Huh. Wow, fascinating. Oh yeah, you put that in there to keep it. All right. Oh, it looks like it has a little overheater, little coil in there. I don't want to force anything, so I'm just going really gently and kind of feeling it out. Wow, it's really got a giant rheostat in there, doesn't it? Look at that. It's amazing. It is still in what feels like beautiful shape after all this time. But, holy hell, how do I get this out? Who is this? What? Is there a ledge there that I can't see? Those are the perimeter screws. Those are the switch screws. Let's see if I can't pull this. Yep, I can. All right, so that's been pulled before. I can see the marks on it. I'm confused as to how I'm supposed to get at this. I really need to take this apart. All right. That's working. There we go. Great. So, yeah, the little bubble part. Yeah. Now the question is, perimeter screw. Perimeter screw. Missing its alignment pin. We can put that back in. Oi, oi. Oh, this sticky shit is just getting everywhere. Desolder into switch, yellow, black. So I got to do something I don't ever like to do, which is to desolder something in order to get it to work, but we're going to do it. So I've got two, one goes to there. Yeah. And one goes to there. All right. Okay, that one goes to there. Ah, great. Okay. Come on. Which one is this? Yeah. Yeah, these do the same thing. Okay, so one goes to one goes to the other. It actually does not matter how they are oriented. All right, let's try it. These are simple on-off switches, so it shouldn't matter. Come on, there we go. Switches out. Little switches out. And these two guys, which look to have been repaired before. Oh yeah, I gotta get that thing out. Oh, look at that. That whole little thing cracked. All right, I'll have to make another one. Worm drive here. I mean, the gear seems in good shape, in good condition. This, I suppose I must desolder. So let's do it. All right, rheostat wire. I'm seriously at a loss here. I think I may have to actually just go with what I got. I can get a fair bit done this way. I really can't get to that? Sorry, I gotta think about this just a little longer. The motor seems to be in terrific shape. I don't see any excessive wear on the brushes. I really want to be able to pull this. Wait a second. Are you serious? It's as easy as that? Wow. Hang on. It's as easy as this. I thought these carried all the way through, but they don't. Oh, there it is. What a dummy. I mean, I guess I could have figured it out, but I feel good about that. I don't know if I want to undo this relationship. I don't know if that's smart for me to undo this relationship. Right? Yeah. Okay. That just gets cleaned. Great. All right, so let's go after this one. Oh, yeah, that one's definitely been repaired, and this one has not, because I can see the artifacts of the repair. I thought these carried all the way through. It's just the way I was looking at the structure. I know you were probably telling me through the screen what the right procedure was. I just wasn't listening. Smells so good. Love that smell. All right, let's undo these long ones. Oh, yeah, let's use a bigger screwdriver so we don't strip it. Yeah, we'll get Loctite back on that next time. Oh, I hate doing that. Oi, are you serious? All right, get a gunsmith. There we go. Okay, good. I got it. I'll have to file that a little square. It's never as smooth as you think it is. Ever, 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 ever. Okay, so the first things first, I want to do the crackle finish on these guys. Now, I think that means I want to strip some of the crackle off of this stuff and get a coat of paint on it. And I want to mask out this, right? I want to get this business off here. So I got some cleaning and stripping and other stuff to do. Then there's just cleaning these two pieces. And again, everything looks exactly identical, so I don't think I need to worry about separating out parts, although that one goes with that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So these are all identical, are they? Yeah, they are. Great. Oh, there's a little screw there that is not in this one. Uh-huh. Okay. Let's get this ugliness off here. All right, I think I'm happy with how those are both cleaned. Yeah, these are both clocked well. They're clean. Yeah, let me get these. I'll throw some Armor All on that at the very end, and that should give me the look I'm looking for. All right. So now it's time to mask these up. Right? Yeah, I'm going to mask these up. And get them painted. I think I want... Let's see if I can hold on to these like this. Nope. Nope. I don't think I need to hold these like this. I think I can hold these like this and these like this, and that will actually carry me. Let's see here. I'm going to give this a coat of primer. All right, I'm applying the crackle finish, and the whole point for the crackle finish is that I put 2 coats on within 3 minutes of each other using this stuff, the Fast Black from PJ1. So I'm going to make sure I give it a complete coat, then I'm going to wait 3 minutes, give it another complete coat, and then I'm going to throw it in my lab oven. I gave it the second coat. Here's how it looks. Yeah, it is really, really, it's a heavy saturated coat. I think the wrinkling happens inside the oven. So here, let's go there. It's set right now to 175 degrees. Oh, and I'm gonna put it in here. This is what Sean Charlesworth told me, was that baking it in an oven makes it wrinkle even better here. This is how I have to take stuff apart. I have to make constant notes. I live in absolute terror of not knowing which is the long screw and which is the short screw and where it should go. And when I watch a lot of repair and restoration videos, when I watch those videos online, the thing that I find the most upsetting is like when the person taking apart the thing doesn't seem to be paying any attention to the screws. Like I watched a thing of a guy rebuilding part of a Bridgeport machine, and he was just taking stuff and putting all the screws and bolts in the same bucket. And I'm like, what are you doing? How are you gonna know where they go back? So in essence, all the repair videos I watch are like a magic trick in which I can't believe the thing goes back together at the end. Same for my own personal life. So while that paint dries, it'll be a couple of hours, but for you, here we go. So 2 coats, 3.5 minutes apart, or one song, and then baked for about an hour, the better part of an hour. Let's take a look at this. Oh! Oh! Yeah, there you go. That's not a simulacrum of a crackle finish. That's a freaking crackle finish. Wow. I am, that's amazing. All right. I have a lot of work to do on these. Everything looks beautiful. I'm going to start the slow assembly process. All right, that one works. All right, I think that'll actually do it. Copy that. Copy that. Okay. Oy. Lots of little things going wrong. These are old pieces of equipment. This is frustrating, but ultimately, we should be able to get there. Let's take this off. Okay, and that's soldered back. Let's see if I can't get this back to some semblance of function. If that doesn't do it, then I think I've fried two motors because they're really old and I tried taking them apart without enough skill, or these are both parts motors. Yeah, or both. Hey, we've got function. All right. This switch, she's broken. I have another part to replace. This switch is broken. Yeah, I can hear it's broken. So, all right, out of two motors, I'm getting one. That's how this works. This is driving me just a little bit nuts. Let's see. Maybe we can assemble. Is it possible that we can assemble? Hey, hey, hey. Ooh, boy. Nice. I like the operation. I like the quietness. I like the solidity. Excellent. Whew. I'm very relieved to get one motor out of here. Okay, so it's worth talking about what happened here. And that is... I can turn this up to 16. There we go, 16 volts. Coming out of one of the motors, I have these two leads that the entire insulation on both wires down here came off and they're thus shorted to each other. So this is a no longer worky motor. Don't get me wrong. There may be like, yeah, tell me in the comments if there's a way to fix this. But for right now, I'm going to put this in a bin with some parts. This switch is bad. Yeah, I can hear how bad that switch is on the inside, and it's solid state. So we'll save that. We'll save all of this stuff. It's all good repair. It's noisier than I would like, but the RE2CI is an MOS camera. It's not, it's a noisy camera. It sounds like a sewing machine. I managed to get one motor out of two motors. I had two working motors, but both were beat up. In restoring them, this is the thing with old equipment. You take it apart and stuff is calcified and messed up. Sometimes that happens. I'm okay with that. But let's connect this up to the camera, shall we? I'm very relieved. Let's get this going so you can hear it. Hey! Oh, I am so relieved to have a working motor. I wish I had a magazine for this, but so why am I doing this? What is the purpose of putting together an RE2CI, a 2C with a motor? It has to do with the way I love technology, the way I think about technology, and the way I think about the people I admire and how they use technology and how I like to talk about it. So Tom Sachs likes to point out that in many disciplines, there are people who are into it for the philosophy, and there are also people who are into it for the gear. But there's often a bifurcation in that regard, right? Like, you might have the carpenter who doesn't really care about the tools as much as the mental space of superfine carpentry. So they get a lot done with very little, just like some chisels and hand saws. Then you get other people like me who are definitely interested in the philosophy, but also super into the gear and like gearheads to the core. And I feel I'm a hybrid of both of those things. I really love talking about the philosophy of stuff. I love learning what my intersection with this kind of technology and the technologies that I use. I love learning about what my use of those teach me, about myself, about the world. But I also love working with equipment that is used by people I admire and thinking about their use of the same equipment. And I think when I watch Stanley Kubrick and the behind the scenes footage, so there's a bunch of amazing behind the scenes footage of Kubrick on both The Shining and on Full Metal Jacket. And The Shining is the stuff I'm really familiar with. I think Vivian, his daughter, shot this behind the scenes during the filming of The Shining in 1980, 79. And you get to see just a lot of stuff that's really remarkable. But the scene that this camera comes out of is a scene in which Jack is inside the freezer and he's yelling at Wendy. He's telling her, "I got a big surprise for you." And what he means is he's destroyed the cat, the caterpillar that she's trying to escape the hotel on. But in the behind the scenes footage, you see Jack Nicholson rehearsing this scene, and Kubrick is lying underneath him with a director's eyepiece. And he's like, "Jack, maybe you could look both up and down at the same time," which is like a weirdly impossible stage direction. And yet in the footage, Jack actually does it. And so you get to see Jack preparing for the scene and Kubrick and him talking about it. And then you see Jack doing the scene. And then Jack finishes the scene. You see him sort of shake off the performance. Then he reaches down and picks up Kubrick, who is lying on the ground underneath Jack, filming the scene with this camera. And he's literally got like a little light bulb on, like sitting on his belly in some black wrap to provide some actual fill light for Jack. I don't know what it is about that scene, the interactivity between Kubrick and Nicholson, the simplicity of the device. And I got to see Kubrick's real 2C in the traveling Stanley Kubrick exhibition. And somehow seeing it there and seeing its incredibly diminutive size and how beautiful it was made me want one. And so a few years ago, I went on eBay and I picked up an RE2C package for just a painfully low price saw. This isn't just a boat anchor. I would like to get this functioning. Jason Reitman, I showed him pictures of my rig and he was like, "You have to run film through that." And he's right. I do. And I will. Joey Fameli and I will run film through this year. And I have a few more things to do. I picked up a beautiful battery pack that I'm going to get working. I picked up an RE tripod, and we'll do a couple of mods on that, and we'll talk about that. There's a bunch of RE stuff coming over the next few weeks, and I'm really excited about it. But it starts here with these motors, with this motor. Started with 2, end up with 1. I'm going to have to go buy another one just so I have a backup because I don't like having only one. Plus, I have there's a lot. There's a lot in my head around the Arri stuff. But for right now, I'm really pleased with the restoration of the motor. I think it looks lovely. It definitely looks much more like a professional part than it did. I don't necessarily think I'm going to re-crackle the entirety of this thing. I think that's just a little more than I'm ready to do. However, like I've just been pointing out, there's a bunch of Arri stuff coming up. Arri. I think it's Arri. Help me out in the comments. I'm pretty sure I should be saying Arri instead of Arri. See, I went to film school with a guy named Arri, and I can't get that out of my head. I think that's everything. It's a one-day build that ended up being a one-day tinker and show and tell extraordinaire. Thank you guys for joining me for this. I can't wait to talk more about Arri equipment and history over the coming weeks with these different Arri builds. But for right now, we're just going to stop. Well, we're going to quit while we're ahead. While we've got a working motor, we're just going to stop right there. Thank you guys for joining me for this one-day build show and tell. Happy New Year, and I will see you next time. Cheers.